Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is about stock report, and the stock report that is on 20th of February 2012. Let's review the past announcements that I had made. The forecasts are on target as discussed, and the stocks did fall, and if you had made gains and you have sold off the stock, you would have realized the profit by now. And let's talk about, today in this video I would like to digress more towards a new era of people, new generation of people that would lead this generation, and this type of these are critical issues to nations as well as protecting the wealth of the individuals. To start with, I would be looking at multi-millionaires and millionaires around developed world or developed nation. Example would be millionaires in America or in Britain or in Europe. All right. If you are a millionaire in your country, and if the tax regime that you are currently facing and the interest rate that you derive from your cash deposits is unattractive to you, what do? You have to invest the money elsewhere around the world. You don't have to keep the money in US, in American dollars. I know the American dollars has been the measure of the money. You don't have to, if you are an American millionaire, and if you are getting a interest rate 0% and you are going to be heavily taxed, what do? You have to move your money elsewhere around the world where it's able to perform much better than what is currently performing in the homeland. Yes, it applies to any country and anybody around the world and any citizen. So how do we prevent the arms of the law invading and affecting your wealth? If the nation's government or the tax policies, the tax regime, the economic circumstances are poor, and it's not going to give you the return, you have to invest elsewhere, where the tax regime is suitable for you, provides the incentive, attractiveness, and growth of your wealth. So you have to move. It is not only moving the money from one country to another, but you migrate from one nation to another. Lose the citizenship of your nation. If your nation is not delivering to your expectation, lose the citizenship. There are many countries around the world which will open your arm. With open arm, they will welcome you, will welcome your investment, they provide you incentives. Southeast Asian region. For example, if the China is having a growth rate of 12%, and you're sitting in the United States having a 0%, I think it will be wise to invest in China. Leave the country and find a citizenship elsewhere. What that does is to prevent losing the citizenship. What does that is to prevent the laws, arms of the laws, catching and grabbing and taxing you for your invested money overseas. so you lose the citizenship and become a citizen of another nation, which will not, which will be is which will be taxing, but is not as much in your present state. That's what I'm trying to say. Is to move your money, is behave yourself like a company. The companies are always looking, going offshore, they're preventing the governments. I'm not saying it's a investment strategy. You are, consider yourself as a world citizen. You can move around in the world. If you have got the dough, you can move around in the world. Yeah, you can move around in the world and protect your money from being eaten away by governments. Okay, that was soundly advice on these high-end income earners and millionaires around the world. Move your money to where it will perform the best, and you don't have to belong to a particular nation as a citizen. Move your citizenship elsewhere. Okay, the stock market performance, how it's going to perform. What we have seen in the past, uh, that the contagion effect and all that is having on the American economy and all that, the American economy has shrugged off that contagion effect and is moving ahead. The stock market has started to perform. It will come down, even though it's a false economy and type of thing, and it's forming. It ought not to have performed. The underlying unemployment rate is 8.3%, they say in America, but the figures may be a bit distorted because the if you have got few hours of job and it's counted as employed, then it is wrong. You need to consider full-time unemployment. So if you consider that the unemployment rate in America is hitting around about 30% rather than 8.3%, and the hitting underlying unemployment, and that's the factor. And you can see it yourself in the streets. Okay. The stocks will start to perform. So investors, you can start putting your money. But be cautious again. And it may be selective. For example, be selective when you're selecting the stock. If you invested uh, in a stock that hasn't got a basis, like a computer software or social media software or something of that nature, which can be replicated, a business that can be replicated, a similar business can be stood, then the stock value should be low. Number two, invest in real businesses, which is not affected by recession or thing. Example of one I would give you, I'm not saying that you go and buy a particular stock. One thing I will give you is, say, a tire business, a car auto tire business, a Dunlop or tire business, for example. Whether there is a recession or not, or we in the boom period, the sale of those motor vehicle tires will continue to grow. People use the vehicle. They will never go out of business. That is something that is needed. So I've just given you one example. So when you're investing, please do consider on those kind of things, the fundamentals of the businesses, and look at the business which are prone to recession. Then you will be, your stocks and everything will be doing fine. And I will see you in a couple of weeks' time.